If you want to dress your best in winter, I believe there are 7 essential items that you should have. And these pieces will not only keep you warm, but also make sure you look sharp and put together no matter how cold it gets. The first item has the power to immediately upgrade any of your winter outfits, a high quality overcoat. You could be wearing something as simple as a t-shirt and jeans, and by layering a coat on top, you instantly go from a 3 out of 10 outfit to at least a 7 out of 10. Add a nice scarf and some accessories and you're pretty close to a 9 out of 10. That's the power of a well-made coat. But it's not just about style. If it's heavy and well-made, a good coat will keep you warm and cozy even on the iciest winter days. There are lots of coat types you could choose from, but I think a single-breasted coat, especially a raglan coat, is one of the most versatile ones you can get. It's easier to wear with casual outfits than, let's say, a double-breasted coat, but still looks stunning with more formal outfits as well. Bonus points if your coat comes with a belt, because many overcoats can be a little bit roomy in the waist area, and with the belt you can improve the silhouette in a matter of seconds. Color-wise, navy and gray are both very versatile and classic choices. But colors like brown, cream or green would also be interesting options. And this is one of the best items to look for on the secondhand market. A new quality wool coat typically starts at around $600, but with a bit of luck you can find some great coats secondhand for as little as $30. Another reason why I think you should buy your coats secondhand is that they tend to be longer than current ones. Unfortunately, most modern coats are a little bit on the shorter end, which typically does not look as flattering as a longer coat. If you can find a coat that ends around your knees or even halfway down your calves, that would be perfect. This will also protect your legs better from the elements than a shorter coat, especially when you pair it with item number 2. Because the next item might just be the most comfortable pants you can own for winter. A pair of flannel trousers. Made from soft, heavy wool, these trousers are cozy, warm, and perfect for ice cold days. But besides keeping you warm, they are also more versatile than most wool trousers. Because of their fuzzy texture, you can dress them down more easily than your suit trousers. Mid-gray would be my preferred choice because it works well with almost anything you wear on your upper body. Light gray and navy are also classic options, but green, brown or taupe are all interesting color choices. The ones I'm wearing here are in charcoal, which is a little bit too dark in my opinion. So next time I will definitely choose a lighter shade of gray. One of the best ways to keep warm when the weather drops is to protect your hands. So you need a pair of warm winter gloves, but not just any gloves. They should be stylish as well. In my opinion, winter gloves made from polyester like these should only be reserved for outdoor activities or if you live in the middle of Canada. For your commute to work or a day in the city, gloves made from leather are a much better choice. That's because they look great and really add to your outfits. But for really cold winter days, make sure that the gloves have some interior lining to keep your fingers nice and warm. And try to somewhat match the color of your gloves to the color of your shoes. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but you don't want to wear a pair of light brown gloves with black shoes, for example. In terms of brands, Spear & Mackay is a pretty affordable option, especially if you live in North America. If you're in Europe, you could try Portia 1924 for a variety of affordable gloves. Another brand that's worth to check out is Dents, but also Suit Supply and Posetka both have some really great options. But keep in mind, they're also a little bit more pricey. Another winter essential is a pair of warm winter boots. There's just something very masculine about a pair of boots, and there are plenty of design options for you to choose from. And they can be as elegant or as rugged as you like, whatever fits your personal style. Generally speaking, the rounder and larger the toe box, the more casual the boots. A boot with a refined and slim toe box like this could even be worn with more formal outfits. And the same is true with the sole. A slimmer sole like this is suitable for both casual and more formal looks as well. And if you're like me and you easily get cold feet, I suggest to look for a pair of boots that come with a warm inner lining, because that can make a huge difference in winter. Now, I personally really like chukka boots in suede for fall and spring, But when it's really cold, I tend to go for a warm pair of lacer boots. You can go with brogue variations, or you can go with Chelsea boots or jodhpur boots as well. The most versatile color would be a darker shade of brown, but you could also go for boots either in black or in burgundy. For affordable, high-quality boots, you can look at brands like Bridlin from India, who are really doing a fantastic job, or for example, brands like Meerman, Beckett Simonon, or Blackbird. Expect to spend at least $180 on a pair of high-quality boots, but keep in mind that they are going to last you a very long time, so in the end, it's a pretty good investment. The majority of us do not wear suits to work, so one way to elevate your outfits in winter is with a warm sport coat. You can wear it with a shirt and a tie, or simply dress it down with a turtleneck or crewneck sweater. A sport jacket made from heavy wool, cashmere or camel will keep you warm and elevate any of your outfits. The most versatile colors to start with would be some shade of brown, medium or dark gray, navy or green, preferably with a pattern, for example with checks, a herringbone pattern or a gun club check pattern. And that's because most items that we wear in winter typically don't have a pattern, so if you get a sport jacket like this with a slight pattern, it really enhances your outfits. A single-breasted sport coat, preferably with 2 buttons or a 3-row 2 configuration, would be ideal in my opinion because it's a bit more versatile than a double-breasted sport jacket. If possible, look for one with patch pockets, which make it slightly more casual and in turn more suitable to combine with different trousers than, let's say, a jacket with flap pockets. In terms of brands, for example, Postsetka, Spear & Mackay and Suit Supply have quite a few really interesting options. But another brand to look out for would be Natalino, which is also the brand of the gray jacket that I'm wearing here. But if you're on a budget, you can also find some great sport jackets on the second-hand market. For example, I found this jacket here for just $9 on Vinted. It may not be perfect, but for the price, you really can't complain. A thick and warm sweater is a must for your winter wardrobe. Try to aim for a sweater made from natural fibers like wool or cashmere and avoid those made from polyester. That's because they are not breathable and can be pretty uncomfortable. I still remember buying a turtleneck from Zara that was made from polyester, and it was so hot and so uncomfortable that after only wearing it one time, I actually already had to sell it. You can choose between crew neck sweaters, V-neck sweaters, quarter zips, turtlenecks, cardigans and many more. The choice comes down to your personal style, but if I had to pick only 2, I personally would go with a crewneck sweater and a turtleneck sweater. That's because both of them can be worn very well casually. They're not super formal, but I generally also don't dress extremely formal. So if you plan to wear a shirt with a tie, you may want to go with a V-neck sweater or a cardigan. And if you want to add some visual interest with texture, you can choose a cable knit sweater like this, for example. Classic color choices would be navy, gray, off-white, dark green or brown. The color of your sweater depends on your taste, your skin tone, and also on what type of jacket and trousers you typically wear in winter. For example, if you mostly wear navy trousers and maybe a navy sport jacket, then you probably don't want to wear a navy sweater as well, and instead go for gray or green, for example. And once you have 1 or 2 sweaters in the essential colors, you can venture out and try a few more vibrant options. For example, you could go for a sweater in a shade of burnt orange, mustard or pink, all of which will make your outfits look more interesting and unique. And that's because most of us typically wear darker colors in winter, so just by having this pop of color, all of your outfits become more interesting. Uniqlo has some really affordable options, but if you want to go for a higher quality, you can try brands like Spear & Mackay, which are still pretty affordable, or for an even higher quality, you can go brands like Natalino, Bossi or Nelex. One of the easiest ways to spice up an otherwise boring winter outfit is to simply add a colorful hat or a colorful scarf. Most of us, including myself, wear primarily gray, navy or black in winter, so by adding a more vibrant scarf or hat, your outfits immediately become more interesting. Stefan Carson is a great example here. You can see that he wears an interesting scarf on pretty much every photo, and it always adds a unique touch to his outfits. Drake's is probably the most famous brand for scarves like this, but unfortunately when you buy them new, they can be very expensive. I think a scarf like this is usually around $400. So if you're lucky, you can find them on the secondhand market for less than $100. For example, the one that I have here, I bought it secondhand and I was lucky to get it for $70. But another brand that's great for the secondhand market is Etro from Italy, because they also have a lot of interesting prints. More affordable alternatives to drakes are, for example, H and White, which start at around £150, but they do have a limited inventory. Portian 1924 starts as low as €50 and also has a couple of interesting scarves. Adam Lay is another affordable option with lots of interesting designs. And Calabrese from Italy is probably the most similar in terms of designs to drakes, and they are about $100 cheaper than drakes, so they're still not cheap, but they are more affordable. If you know some great brands for scarves, write them in the comments below. And there you have it, 7 essential winter items for well-dressed men. Which item was your favorite and which ones do you already own? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and see you next week.